Welcome, this is Integrated Chemistry Physics, and we're just going to go through this video. This is the course information for this year. This is an example of how you're going to watch your notes for this coming school year. So let's just get started. A little information about myself. This is Mrs. Wiley. I'm your instructor. I've been teaching for about 10 years. I've taught at 2 other schools. I've taught chemistry and math over the years. I've also coached a dance team. I've done various clubs and organizations. I'm married. I have 4-year-old twin daughters, a cat and a dog. My degrees are in chemistry with a minor in mathematics, and I am also a licensed physical therapy assistant. The big thing I want you to know is that you guys need to get a hold of me if you have any questions. The big thing that you have on your sheet, if you do need to contact me, is my email and my phone number here at school. Probably the biggest thing is that if you guys are gone for any reason, or of course if you need to get a hold of me, whatever, please make sure you use these as resources. I am here if you have any questions or concerns. Alright, what you'll need for this course. Binder. I really would like for you guys to have a binder this year. We have quarterly assessments, meaning we have an exam every 9 weeks, along with the semester exam. So please make sure we have some place that you can put all of your papers. We will be turning in papers at the end of every chapter for grades, along with you'll need things for your exams. Paper, pencils, pens, I don't really care colors or what you write with, as long as I can read it. You really need a calculator of some sort. Most of you will need one for math, so whatever you use for math will be fine for this. But if you don't necessarily need one for math, even cheap, go to the dollar store, go to Walmart, get one for $1, just something you can add, subtract, multiply, divide. You cannot use your phones because you cannot use them on a test or a quiz, so you need something other than your phone, your iPod, something like that. At least a little cheapy dollar one will work. Something different that you will need here that you might not need for another class is headphones. We're going to be watching videos. Notice here you're watching a video. That's how you're going to watch your notes. So if you are going to watch on like an iPad, an iPhone, maybe watch your videos at school, in the library, or on the laptops here in the classroom, obviously you're going to need headphones. So if you don't have a pair of headphones, you might want to think about investing in a pair of headphones. Okay, my expectations. I just have like general common sense expectations, so if you maybe have some common sense, you'll be fine. Big thing is that I expect personal responsibility. Take care of yourself. Make sure that if you're gone, come in and say, hey, I've been gone. Get your makeup work. I don't say, hey, you were gone yesterday. Come get your makeup work. I don't do that. I can't remember if I was gone yesterday, so you need to remember that you were gone yesterday. You are responsible for you. My general rules, though, I just go by the handbook. So if it's in the handbook, that's what I go by. Being on time. My big thing is tardy means that you have to be in the room when that bell sounds. And of course tardiness goes by the school policy. So if your second tardy's detention and everything from there, and I do turn those in. My other thing is bring your supplies. I do not supply supplies, so pencils, pens, make sure you have those every single day. If you come in with nothing, I'm going to expect that you're going to do nothing, so that means that I'm going to send you out. Keep my room clean. Be respectful. Make sure that your actions don't keep other people from learning. And then, of course, anything that I feel is inappropriate is going to result in a consequence. Now, what are consequences? In here, my consequences are, first one obviously is a verbal warning. I'm going to tell you, hey, that's inappropriate. If you're not getting the point that that's inappropriate, then we'll just send you for detention, and maybe spending some of your personal time will get that point across. Obviously, I'm going to be in contact with your parents or guardians. Third time, we'll just suspend you from class. And then, of course, we're going to be talking with those parents. Fourth time, we're going to get that office involved a little bit more. Obviously, if I'm suspending you or sending you to detention, then the office is going to be involved. But we're going to get the office even further involved. Major offenses are going to skip some of these consequences, or if obviously if we're having more problems, we may have to skip, and kind of go in a different order. But hopefully we won't have any problems. Other information. You must sign in and out if you're leaving the classroom for any reason other than obviously passing periods. Anyone caught cheating will get zeros on assignments. Cheating is classified as using thoughts or writing anything down that doesn't come from your own brain. So if you're taking thoughts or ideas from other people and putting them on your paper. So if I catch you with someone else's paper and you're putting them down on an assignment, you're putting ideas from onto a quiz or a test, I will give you a 0. If you do this the first time on a test or a quiz, I will turn you into the administration. If you do this multiple times on a test or a quiz, I will turn you into the administration. Then that could get you in some serious trouble with the, academically. Now, a big thing that a lot of people need to know is that I do not accept late work at all. No late work. That means that if something is due, it is due. I do not accept it the next day. Okay, so that means if a homework assignment is due today, I do not accept it tomorrow. That does not mean I accept it 5 minutes from now. That does not mean I accept it next period. Okay? No late work. Okay, we do have passes, meaning that if you forgot something in your locker, you need to go to the bathroom, you have 3 of those in 9 weeks. Okay, so if you need to leave for any reason other than an absolute medical emergency, you have to use a pass. You get 3 of those in 9 weeks. If you have all 3 of them, you have to have all 3 of them in order to receive 15 points of extra credit. Okay. Your grades. Here is the breakdown. 50% is exams and quizzes, 30% homeworks and labs, 20% warm-ups, vocabulary, and projects. I will give you extra credit every 9 weeks that you can do. It must be turned in by the assignment date. So, you have passes for extra credit, and there's also additional extra credit. So for some of you that maybe are not good exam or quiz takers, or maybe for some of you that maybe occasionally you forget to do a homework assignment. Now, here's the kicker though. First of all, exam and quizzes. Exams are 50% of your grade. We take tons of quizzes, so one bad quiz is not going to hurt you. We're going to have tons of quizzes during the chapter. We're going to have vocab and warm-up quiz at the end of each chapter. At the end of each chapter, you'll have a test. Most of the exams and quizzes will be given on My Big Campus. You'll learn to love My Big Campus, maybe. Now, here's the thing about homework. This is what I want to talk about. Homework's worth 30% of your grade. It's given during class. Now, you notice we're watching our lectures on video. These are YouTube videos. You can watch them on My Big Campus. You can watch them on YouTube. You'll see how My Big Campus works as we go along. So, homework should be done during class. If you don't finish, then you will have to take it home. But for the most part, homework shouldn't be an issue. It's just if you don't watch your videos and do your notes at home, then that's where you're going to get in trouble. But if you notice, there's no points for notes, but that will affect your quiz grades. Labs, worth 30% of your grade. We're going to be doing a ton of these this year. By doing the notes at home, that's going to open up a ton of time to be able to do more notes, me being able to help you with homework and work through problems, being able to figure out how to do some of this stuff that maybe you couldn't do before. But the labs, we're going to be doing in partners, 2s, 4s, some of them I'm going to set you up with partners, some of them you're going to be setting up with your own partners. You're going to be graded on the written lab work, but also on some participation. So if you don't participate, you will lose some points. Every day you're going to come in, there's going to be a warm-up on the board. Warm-ups are worth 20% of your grade. They're going to be given daily. Pretty much the only day we won't have a warm-up, sometimes you've heard them called bell ringers. The only day you won't have a bell ringer is pretty much exam days. In order to receive full credit on a bell ringer or a warm-up, you have to write the date, the prompt, meaning what the question that's on the board, and you have to write the response, meaning what's your answer. At the end of each chapter, you'll have a quiz over the warm-ups. The quiz will be over the prompts and the questions. So I may say, like maybe one of the questions was, on August 5th, it is, what's your favorite color? And then the response was, purple. So maybe the question was, what was the question on August 5th? And the multiple choice answer was purple. So you would select purple. Okay, so you wanted to make sure on your paper you had all of that. So you knew what the, question, the answer, everything was. Grading for the warm-ups. So obviously we said we had a quiz. On the quizzes, you're going to be graded by the number of questions there are, meaning that, if there's 12 questions, it'd be worth 12 points. These quizzes, the warm-up quizzes, are actually going to go in the warm-up category. They won't go in the quiz category. For the daily warm-ups themselves, so every day I'm going to come around and I'm going to mark your warm-ups. So I need to see your warm-up on your paper. In order to get the mark for the day, you have to have the date, the prompt, and the response. So if you don't have all three of those things, I don't mark your paper. So I won't mark it if it's incomplete. Also, I don't mark papers that are lost, meaning that if you come back the next day and be like, I couldn't find yesterday's warm-up, I redid it, will you mark it? No, sorry. The only papers that I mark that are old are ones that are makeup papers. So if you were absent, yeah, I'll mark your paper, but if you're lost, no. All warm-ups will be out of 10 points. So if we had 12 warm-ups for that chapter and you only had 11 of them, then you had 92%, so you get a 9.2 out of 10. So that's how you get graded on warm-ups. Every chapter we're going to do the vocabulary. For vocabulary, I like for you to write the word, number the word, highlight the word. Vocabulary cannot be typed unless you have specific permission from myself. Vocabulary was worth 10 points for every chapter. You will have a quiz every chapter before the exam over the vocabulary. And again, the vocabulary goes in the warm-up vocabulary category. Alright, makeup work. So what happens when you're gone? Alright, where do you find makeup work? I have makeup work in 3 places, so there's no reason why, if you're gone, you can't find makeup work really easy. First of all, in the room, there's a makeup work corner. You can go and find the makeup work. You can look on Harmony. You could look on My Big Campus. So, you can find it from home, you can find it from school. There's calendars on all 3 of those places. You go to the calendar and you say, okay, what did we do that day? Look at the calendar. Write it down somewhere. You see, what was the warm-up? What was due in class? What did we do? What was given as homework? And you write all those things down and you make them up. The worksheets, they're located online and they're located in the folder. So you can either print one out or you can pick up a copy. Then you make it up. Homework obviously is due the following day. Now, exams and labs we have to do a little differently. Exams you will have 3 school days to make up if you missed an exam. After the 3rd day, I start marking off 25%. After 1 week, then, you can't make it up. If you missed a lab, I'll give you 3 school days to make up that lab. After 3 school days, you can't make it up. If you miss more than 3 labs in a chapter, you're going to be asked to just write a paper over it versus making up 3 labs. So let's say you get the flu and you miss 3 labs. I'm just going to be like, just write a paper and we'll talk about what the paper is and we'll arrange something. Exams, quizzes, labs need to be arranged to make up on your own time. because you're gonna use up all the class time we have and miss other things if you're trying to make them up during class. So Bruin time, if you have a study hall, or something, come in and make them up with me some other time. You're welcome in my room anytime. Lab rules. We're going to be doing a lot of labs, especially chemistry. We'll have chemical labs, so no inappropriate conduct. Basically, just behave yourself. Anything that jeopardizes safety of any other student, me, anybody in general, make sure that you're not breaking my equipment. Anything that causes anything to be broken, inappropriate participation. Basically, I'll just take you out, give you a 0, or I'll, anything farther, I'll just take you down in the administration and we'll deal with it further. Cleanup is your responsibility. You'll fill out a lab cleanup slip at the end of the lab, and if you don't clean something up, I'll just take 25% off your lab. We're going to have a great year together. We're going to, of course, at the very beginning, this class is probably going to be a little bit of a learning curve because I set my class up a little different than any other class. If you have any questions, please come talk to me. If you're confused, talk to me, email me, whatever it takes. I don't want you to be lost. We're going to work together. We're hopefully going to have fun. Hopefully you're going to like the way we set up this class, and hopefully we'll have a great year together.